Let's talk about the U.S. Constitution. Think of it as the nation's foundational rulebook, right? It's the core operating code for the entire country. But what happens when that code needs an update? I mean, how do you go about changing a document that's been the supreme law of the land for over 2 centuries? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. The official guide to amending the U.S. Constitution.
It really all begins with these incredible, powerful words, a more perfect union. That phrase right there, it suggests a journey, not a final destination. It's an admission from the very beginning that the work of building this nation is never, ever truly finished.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The founders weren't just writing down a set of rules for their own time. They were trying to build a framework for a future they couldn't even imagine. They just knew the country would grow and society would change in massive ways. So they built an instruction manual for evolution right into the document itself.
Yeah, this wasn't some happy accident or an afterthought. The ability to amend the Constitution, that was a core design feature from day one. The framers intentionally created a document that could breathe and adapt, not one that would become brittle and just shatter over time.
See, they got it. For the Constitution to actually last, it couldn't be set in stone. It absolutely needed a mechanism to respond to new challenges, new ideas, and, the changing values of the American people. This built-in capacity for change is a huge, huge part of why it's still around today.
So, how does it actually work? Well, the specific instructions are all laid out in Article 5 of the Constitution. And let me tell you, it is a deliberately difficult process. It was designed that way to make sure any change is both widely supported and very, very carefully considered.
Okay, so Article V gives us 2 main pathways. An amendment can be proposed by Congress, or it can be proposed by a national convention called for by the states. That second one is kind of like a safety valve, just in case Congress ever became totally unresponsive. Then you've got ratification. It can be approved by state legislatures or by special state conventions. So you've got these options at each stage of a 2-step dance. First propose it, then ratify it.
But here's the thing. While all those different paths exist, history shows one route is the clear superhighway. Every single one of the 27 amendments we have was proposed by Congress, and all but one of those were then ratified by the state legislatures. So this is the path that has literally shaped American history. And the first major hurdle on that path, it is a big one. To even propose an amendment, you need a 2/3 majority vote. Not just in one house, but in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. We're not talking a simple majority here. This is a supermajority.
But, just passing Congress is only the beginning. The proposed amendment then goes out to all the states. And, believe it or not, the bar gets even higher. 3/4 of them have to ratify it.
Let's make that fraction real for a second. Today, that means a full 38 states have to agree to make a change. That is an incredible threshold, and it's all designed to ensure a broad national consensus.
And this final step, ratification, this is the moment of truth. It is the official act of approval that transforms a proposal from just an idea floating around Congress into the supreme law of the land. It becomes a formal, permanent part of the Constitution itself.
Okay, so we've seen the process is incredibly demanding, right? So what's been the result? What kind of historic, game-changing ideas have actually made it all the way through this gauntlet?
Just 27. Since 1788, literally thousands of amendments have been proposed in Congress, but only 27 have successfully navigated that entire journey to become part of the Constitution. Each and every one of them represents a monumental shift in American law and society.
And some of the most profound changes have been all about who gets to participate in this democracy of ours. You look at the 15th, 19th, and 26th Amendments. Together, they fundamentally redefined what we the people even means, dramatically expanding the right to vote to millions and millions of Americans who were previously shut out.
And this is a perfect illustration of just how powerful the amendment process is. It can even be used to reverse itself. The 18th Amendment kicked off prohibition, right? It was this massive social experiment. But when it proved to be, a disaster, the nation used the exact same process to pass the 21st Amendment, which repealed the 18th and ended the whole thing. It is the only time in history an amendment has been fully repealed by another.
So it's pretty clear the Constitution isn't some dusty relic locked away under glass in a museum. It really is a living, breathing document. And the conversation about how to keep perfecting it, that conversation continues to this day. As this quote says, altering the Constitution is it's serious business. It is the highest form of lawmaking we have. Every single proposed change sparks this intense debate, and for good reason. You're talking about modifying the very blueprint of the nation's government and the fundamental rights of its citizens.
And that really brings us right back to today. That process, created over 200 years ago, it's still there, waiting. It forces all of us to ask these big questions about who we are and what we really value most. So as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with this thought. Knowing just how hard this journey is and understanding its incredible power, what single change is so fundamental, so important to you, that it's worth rewriting the nation's core code to become the 28th Amendment?